Today we will be looking at the Excel Vlookup function. So what is the Vlookup function? The best way to explain this function is by saying that after writing an examination test in English, a student, after the result has been published, goes up to the notice board, search for the name, and moves to the right in order to find the marks scored in that test. What am I saying? The VLOOKUP function acts like this student. It looks for the value which you have assigned it to look in a table and moves to the right in order to find the required value or the test marks in the case of the students. Let's jump to our data set. This is a data set made up of products, customers, and their purchases for the various quarters. What the VLOOKUP function does here is that we can assign it to look for each customer and bring forth the corresponding sales, that is the purchase of that customer for each quarter. We can assign VLOOKUP to find Pico and bring out clearly what Pico bought for the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. Knowing that with the Excel VLOOKUP function, we can only look up values from the left to the right, just like the case of the students. The students cannot look at the name and in turn finding the marks moves to the left. The student moves to the right hand side. That is the same thing with Excel VLOOKUP, actually which is a drawback of the Excel VLOOKUP. However, there are other functions that when combined together can overcome this challenge, like the index and match function. With the index and match function, we are going to look at that in a different tutorial. Alright, let's step in and see practically what we are talking about here. I have prepared here a table containing the customer name and the various purchases for the quarters. Here is a drop-down list developed using data validation. I'm going to show you how to do that in our next tutorials. Here, you can assign VLOOKUP function to bring the quarterly purchase of each of these customers. Just as we always do, we start with our equal to sign. I will say VLOOKUP. The VLOOKUP actually stands for vertical lookup. We also have horizontal lookup, which is HLOOKUP. However, this tutorial is based on the VLOOKUP. So we'll press our tab key to accept the function. Now it says lookup value. Which value do you want to look up? Want to look up customer's name. You can fix that by pressing F4, comma, table array, go to our source data. And now remember, we said the lookup value must be in the first column of the table array, which therefore means our table must start from here, the customer. Control Shift Tab and right arrow to select the table to the right, Control Shift and down arrow to select the entire table down. Press our F4 to fix the table. Column index. Knowing that the customer is the first column, the second column will have the first quarter, the third column the second quarter. So we want to look at the values of the first quarter, which therefore means is the second column. And we'll have true or false. True for approximate match and false for exact match. You can also use 0 for exact match and 1 for approximate match. But most often, we always want to have the exact match. So we'll take 0 and we'll hit enter. Automatically, you see that for the first quarter, it says earned SH, bought goods worth 1,123.2. And if we look at our data, we can see clearly that this is our customer's name, and for the first quarter, this is what the customer bought. As we change each customer, automatically it looks at the value of that customer from our source data and bring forth the sales of that customer or the purchases the customer made. To have for the second, third, and fourth quarter, you can simply drag this across and we'll change the column here to be 3. We change here to be 4. I'll change here to be 5. Such that when we select each customer, automatically it brings forth the sales made by us to these customers, or rather the purchases of these customers. So this is what the Excel VLOOKUP does. It looks for the name and brings forth the assigned value from the column which was specified. And in our case, we specified the first, second, third, and fourth quartile, respectively the second, third, fourth, and fifth column, because the names of the customers are in the first column. Now, talking about the drawbacks of the VLOOKUP function, I still have another table here, which is the customer and the product. Notice that the customer is in the right and the product is in the left. Now we are going to try to look at the product bought by each customer. Same still, we select our customer. This was done using drop-down data validation, like I said. We put our equal to VLOOKUP tab. Select the customer range, F4 to fix that. It is not necessarily that we should fix that, but we are just fixing it. Comma, table array. Now our table will be just the first 2 columns. Control Shift down. We fix that. Since we are not dragging, there is no need of fixing. Column index. Now we want to look from the first column and the exact match. Now we discover that Excel has given us a not available error, which therefore means that when you look up this man from this table array, it does not find what we are looking for because it is looking at the values to the left. So that is one drawback of the Excel VLOOKUP function. So it is always good you have it at the back of your mind when using this function. However, that does not nullify the importance of the function. It is still very important as it can help you to solve many solutions. If you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button to receive our new tutorials.